In a previous video, you learned how to classify inventory. In this video, you will learn how to manage inventory by class or type. Class A items are those you frequently used, essential items that account for a majority of your spend. So they need close monitoring and control. For this purpose, you may need to develop a close relationship with the supplier. For example, sign a long-term contract to guarantee a lower price and secured supply. You could also adjust demand forecasts and inventory policies frequently to incorporate any latest changes and market movement. You would prioritize their processing at your purchasing and shipping receiving departments. And finally, due to their large volume, you may order them frequently, such as weekly, to achieve the balance between economy of scale in ordering and inventory carrying cost. Class B items are those that you used occasionally, that account for a small but non-negligible part of your cost. They're less important than Class A items and thus require less attention and control. For example, you can adjust your demand forecasts and inventory policies less frequently, and order them less frequently, such as monthly. Class C items are those that you rarely used and are enormous in variety, but each is negligible in cost. The total cost, however, may not be negligible, and thus these items are the hardest to manage. Some of them may be critical at times, but because of their small volume and rare usage, it is not worthy of carrying inventory for them. Examples can be found in spare parts, which are stocked just in case of failures, which are likely rare events. The best inventory strategy is perhaps to delegate them to suppliers or third parties to hold inventory for you and order as needed. In summary, Class A items may account for 10 to 20% of the items, but 70% of the cost. They need a close control with a high order frequency under the oversight of senior management. Due to their high volume, their uncertainty is lower, and so is their safety stock level. Class B items may account for 20 to 30% of the items and 20 to 30% of the cost. They need a moderate level of control with a smaller order frequency under the oversight of middle management. Due to their relatively lower volume, their uncertainty is higher, and so is their safety stock level. Class A items account for majority, let's say 50 to 70% of the items, but less than 20% of the cost. It is often more economical to outsource the inventory of these items to the supplier or a third party and order them as needed. For these items, the safety stock level is zero. However, the purchasing cost may be higher because it needs to include the inventory carrying cost incurred by the suppliers. To recap, the ABC analysis applies the 80-20 rule to classifying inventory according to its spend or consumption, and thus single out the most important items. It allows the purchasing managers to focus on the critical few, that is A items, instead of the trivial many, that is the C items, so they can set priority, maximize efficiency, and maximize saving. For different classes of inventory, you should use different strategies and inventory control policies.